Hi and welcome to this demo of the Clay Tablet EPiServer connector. This is what I'm going to show you here today, and we'll start out in EPiServer. The first scenario is that we have a full site that we want to translate. It's only available in English right now, and I'm going to translate it into French. So these are all the pages, or the whole file structure, and down here is the LionBridge connector where we actually manage the translations. I click the plus sign to create a new project, select it and configure it. I give it a name, DeLonghi, for this particular project. Next step is to select the pages I want to send for translation. I can expand the file structure or page structure like this, but in this case I want to send the whole site, so I select them all. And I could go here and remove pages, but I'll send them all for this particular case. I click save. Make sure that I have the correct source language and select French as translation language. Request a delivery date, and that is all I need to do to send it for translation. No copying and pasting. I don't have to create the language version. The connector does that. Now all I need to do is wait for this project to be received. And what I'm going to show here is a completely optional step where we can manage reviews of the translations in a LionBridge provided tool. You will receive an email, click the link, and you will be brought to this particular page where you get the information. You click launch online review, which is the name of the tool, and you're brought to this page where you have a number of files, one or more. Selecting a file will give you the source text in the left column. The translations will be visible in the right column. If you want to change something, you simply click edit. You enter a suggested translation, a correction, if you will, and you can also add comments to any corrections that you make. So in this case, I don't want the alloy plan to ever be translated, so I can make a comment to LionBridge to make sure that after going through all of the translations, making sure that they are correct and making corrections as needed, I can then submit the feedback to LionBridge and simply wait for the translations to be delivered back into the EPiServer environment. The delivered translations will of course contain any changes made in this step in the process. So we're back in the EPiServer environment, and as you can see, the DeLonghi Alloy project is now at 100% and ready to be imported. Simply select the project and click Import Translations. All the translations are populated in the French language version of the site. So here we have the English, and as you can see, we now have a French version of the site available. This site is not published yet, so I can of course make any additional changes and adaptations for the market site in this case. For instance, if I simply want to change out a whole sentence and make a very different point from the master, it's possible here before I click the publish button. And the page is published with all the different review changes and market adaptations for the French language version. Next, I'm going to show you a typical update scenario where you continuously work to enhance and improve your master content and your web presence. So I'm continuing on the Alloy plan page. I make a change to the source text here. While I type, it might be worth mentioning also that all the translations that you see here in the demo is generated by a machine translation engine without any kind of editing. So the language that you see here is only for demo purposes and does not in any way reflect the language quality delivered by LionBridge typically. So I want to have something that's a bit more effective in grabbing my readers' attention. I make a change. to the master content, I publish it, and the process is really very similar to sending out a larger project. That I create a new project, select it, again give it a name, DeLonghi update page, and again I go into the content selection pane here, but this time I was obviously only select the one page that I have modified. Anything else will be untouched during the translation process. I select the target language again, and I request the delivery date, and hand it off for translation again. Same as previously, no manual work at all in handing off the translation. So, after a little while, the project will be at 100%, ready to be imported again. Same process, I import the pages, and I can again make sure that the translations are good and check if they need any adaptation. This time I'm relatively happy with the translation. I won't make any major changes, but I want to add just a little bit of extra oomph to the translation, so I add a sentence down here and publish it. And that's again no manual work in copying or pasting. You don't have to, you can do other things while you wait for the translations to be returned, and you can make your own adaptations in the language layer prior to publishing them in EPiServer. So, in conclusion, I hope that I have been able to give you an understanding of how the connector works and how it is intended to be used. Should you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to us here at Lion. And thank you for listening.